By any measurable metric, the Winnipeg Jets have had a very good season so far. And the West looks like it's entirely wide open. So given that, Craig, the one big question for Winnipeg is, with the opportunity that the West presents, should they go all in this year?
I would definitely say yes, because not only the fact that their team is playing so well, you talk about the metrics, but also because of the nature of the Western Conference. To me, there's no clear-cut contender that puts them far ahead of the Winnipeg Jets. So when we look at this Winnipeg Jets team, the forward group, they got the skill up the middle of the ice. Scheifele, Dubois, and Lowry. That's a real strong, sizable, skilled center ice. They got Connor Hellebuck in the net. So when you look at the Winnipeg Jets, a really good team, now what can they do to push themselves further ahead, to give themselves a little bit of more room to maybe put themselves right at the top of the contenders in the Western Conference? I think the time is now, and I think for the Jets, liftoff should be imminent.
Very nicely done, Craig. But the thing is, all in doesn't mean foolish. I mean, I think it's aggressive, going after what you need. And what they need is not necessarily the biggest name players on the block. Because Timo Meier's a great fit. He'd make any team much better. But given what it's cost to acquire him and the fact that they have Wheeler and Ehlers and Connor and Perfetti, they necessarily don't need that guy. So I think there's a couple clear needs, Craig, for the Winnipeg Jets to address. And it's third line wingers to play with Adam Lowry, give them a little bit more offensive punch, but still maintain that physical presence. Ivan Barbashev, thank you very much. You come to mind for sure. Somebody like that offers a different dynamic. And then maybe depth defenseman. Every team talks about it, but I think as good as Winnipeg has been, Craig, depth wingers, depth kind of third pair defensemen are the things that could really elevate their team, give them a better chance in the playoffs.
No question about it. And when we zero in on the specific areas of their team, you talk about a left winger to play with Adam Lowry. You know, if you push Morgan Barron down to the fourth line, I think that would put him in even to a better spot. So finding that really exact player that can fit into that group, whether it be size, a little bit of skill, some speed, those are all things that are going to help your team compete and be better. On the blue line, I like their blue line, but I'd like to see a little bit more heftiness to them, a little bit more weight on the blue line. Logan Stanley's had some injuries this year. He's shown some capabilities, but I don't think that he's exactly the guy. If they can add another player onto that blue line that can take some of what I call the heavy lifting off of some of those other not bigger defensemen, I think that would not only help their team, but would also take some of that burden off of Josh Morrissey, off of Neil Pionk, off of Nate Schmidt, and allow them to be even that much better.
The good news for the Jets, though, Craig, is they have the one thing that most good teams don't have, a little bit of cap space. The fact that they have some money to spend makes them in a pretty unique position. Now, Kevin Cheveldayoff is known to be incredibly patient and thoughtful and not want to rush things. But I do think, Craig, with the cap space and the timing of the opportunity that the West presents, as well as the window of Blake Wheeler's effectiveness, of Mark Scheifele's contract, Craig, it feels like this might be the year where they really do have to kind of push the chips in, trade some of the futures, be super aggressive, acquire more salary, and give their team a little bit of a boost and reward the group for having such a good year.
Absolutely, Mike. And, you know, you look at Kevin Cheveldayoff at the end of last season. He made a decision that he really believed in his players. He believed in the group. Well, they have shown clearly that they deserve that belief. Now, Kevin Cheveldayoff, believe in yourself. Put these Jets into a better position.
And that's the great news for Winnipeg, is that they are in a great spot to try to take a run at a Western Conference title.